Everyone, John Morris, Regional Technology Director for the Maryland, DC region. And today I'm going to give you guys a guide on how to launch Facebook campaigns inside of Command. A lot of agents from around the country are having a lot of great success at lead generation utilizing Facebook ads inside of Command. And so a lot of people are reporting being able to get a lead for as little as under $1 for a lead, which is fantastic. And we're starting to hear a lot of people closing transactions and getting some extra business utilizing some of the amazing tools and features that we have inside of campaigns. So I'm just going to show you how to quickly set that up so that you can start taking advantage of that and taking more territory. First thing we need to do is make sure that we log into Command. And actually, before we really proceed any further, the first thing that needs to be done is make sure that you have a Facebook business page set up so that you guys can start running some ads. Facebook only allows you to run ads from a business page. So if you've not taken that step yet, you're going to need to go to Facebook and create a business page. A lot of tutorials online on setting that up through Facebook. Pretty simple process. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to your Market Center tech and or myself, and we can get you pointed in the right direction so that you can get a business page set up. Once you get that business page set up, come back to this video, and then you can proceed along with everybody else. So we're going to want to log into our account. Now, once we log into our account, we're going to want to go to Settings so that we can make sure that our Facebook accounts are connected if you have not already done that. So I'm going to click my name at the top here, go to the gear icon where it says Settings, and then we're going to connect our Facebook accounts. So we're going to go scroll down to find Facebook. And there's actually two. We're going to want to sync both of those up. So there's Ads Manager down here. And then up top, you can see post scheduling. Difference is one's to run basically to manage our ad account, and the other one is to help us with scheduling social media posts. So I'm going to connect to this one up top first, and then just put your username for Facebook and password in. Don't laugh at me. I have an old MSN account that I never switched over as my login for Facebook. We're going to hit login. As soon as we hit login, it's going to tie to our account and pull up business pages that we have available to be able to use for this account. I'm going to pick the one that I want. So just make sure that if you have multiple business pages, pick the one that you want to be able to tie to your Command account here. So now we can see that that's connected. Now we need to go down to the Ads Manager one. And we won't have to re-log in because we've already logged in to the social post one. So all we need to do is click Connect Account, and that'll sync that up for us. So now you can see that the Ads Manager account is connected, as is your business page account as well. So now it's time to go over into Campaigns. And again, the Campaigns is the icon with the megaphone. If you don't know what something is, always click the red box in the top left corner, and that pulls the slider out so that you can see it. So a couple things on the dashboard here for you is you can see all the paid campaigns that you've done in the last 30 days that are I'm not running any current ad right now. And then you can see some of the statistics on ads that you've run. So like, for example, the last one I ran was this one on Ramona Way. If I click the arrow, I can see that it ran for 5 days, cost me, I spent about $25 and got 8 leads, cost me roughly about $3.13 a lead, which is not as good as some people being able to get it down to about $1 a lead or so. But in California, stuff's a little bit more competitive with advertising for real estate, so our costs tend to be a little bit higher. In addition to that, even if I have to pay $3 a lead, if it takes me 50 leads to close one transaction, and I have to spend $150 to get our commissions here, or at least in my market area, and run about $10,000 to $12,000 per commission. That's a pretty good return on investment. So I'll do that all day long. So on this particular ad that I ran for 5 days, had about 1,000 impressions, 46 clicks, and I captured 8 leads. And like I said, there's some people out there in different parts of the country that I know are getting it down to roughly about $1 a lead, which is fantastic. That's awesome. So one of the things we want to do before we create a lead or create a campaign is click the payments tab. Facebook will not let us run ads for free, unfortunately, and so you need to add a payment method, and then you can also delete payment methods if you want to by clicking the delete button here. And then that once you get that set in there, you'll be able to run ads. If you have any credits that are left or available, meaning that you, like one of the ads wasn't performing very well, so I stopped the ad in the middle of the ad, and then the remaining balance on what hadn't been used will show up as credits here. So the way that it works is you don't get refunded the money if you stop an ad. It just goes into your credits so that you can use that for the next ad. So if we want to create a new campaign, pretty simple. We're going to hit create new campaign. And then we're going to go down to social ad. And then we're going to type in a campaign name. And then we're going to click one of these goals. Now, eventually there's supposed to be some stuff that's going to help us with our ad by utilizing one of these tags here. But right now, all that they do or currently do is they're for tracking purposes. Other than this one where it says advertise multiple listings, if you want to advertise, let's say for example, I got a single property that I want to advertise. I'm going to use this advertise listing here. If I took 3 new listings last week and I want to run one ad to show, kind of highlight all of my listings at the same time, I can advertise multiple listings. And so then I would have to use this one because this one is the only one that allows you to add multiple listings to a particular ad. So you have to use this one. So other than that, this is just for tracking purposes for you and Keller Williams to be able to kind of see what kinds of ads people are running, but they don't actually have an effect on the effectiveness of your ad. So I'm just going to click advertise listing. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to select if I want to run it on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. For our purposes here, I'm just going to show you Facebook, as that has been what's been getting the best results for agents. So we're going to hit setup campaign. Now, as we hit setup campaign, it's going to pull up a box that's going to ask us to select a listing. Now, sometimes our listings aren't showing up inside of this. If you run into this problem, just click this top right button here where it says only my listings and click all listings, and then search for your listing that way. And if you do run into the problem where your listings aren't showing up, if you click all listings and you search for that property, that'll help you find your listing. So I'm going to search for the listing here. And hit search. Pops up the listings that are on there. And then I'm going to select the one that I want to utilize. Now, if you don't have a listing to advertise, you don't have to tie or attach a listing to it. You just click the X. That'll take you right into the ad. And some things that you can run ads on if you don't have a listing to advertise. You can run an ad at buyers and highlight homes that are available in a particular neighborhood because we could do neighborhood searches. You could do a killer mortgage ad to highlight the fact that you can get the 0+ mortgage by working with you. Seen a lot of success with people running ads, talking about, stop paying somebody else's mortgage and get out of renting and become a homeowner yourself. So there's a lot of things that you can do to run ads that are effective that you don't need necessarily a listing for. If you're a newer agent and don't have a listing, you can always reach out to somebody in your office too. Make sure that you ask for permission to be able to advertise somebody else's listing as well too. But again, ethics come into play there, and make sure that you're asking permission for somebody if you're going to use or advertise their listing as well. So we find the one that we want. We're going to click select. And so now we got the name and the goal here. We got the listing there. If we messed up, we can change it. Now we got the ad text. So the ad text, one of the things I want to point out for effectiveness is they only give you 250 characters. What it does is it automatically pulls over the MLS remarks. And as you can see, it has a comma here. Excuse me. As you can see, in here, you got the MLS remarks. And if you wrote a lot, it's not going to pull everything over. It's only going to give you up to 250 characters. And the reason is that when we're scrolling through Facebook, we don't want to read a novel, or we tend to kind of like keep scrolling past the ads and the things that have a lot of text and don't necessarily have a lot of pictures or graphics. And so what our real goal is in running these campaigns is we want to draw somebody's attention to the ad and get them, really the primary goal is stop the scroll. We want to get them to stop scrolling through the feed and pay attention and put their eyeballs on the ad, because if they do that, then we have a chance to get them to basically click the link and leave their information for us and be able to capture the lead. So the first thing we need to do is get them to stop so they can see it. And so we don't want to get too wordy. What we really want to do in the main copy is we want to highlight the main things about the house. They're awesome, awesome features, and not necessarily all the descriptions. And then we also, if there's any super amazing things about the neighborhood that it's in, we might want to make sure that we're highlighting those too as well. So I'm just going to review through here to see how this looks. This is a new subdivision here. And we know that this is a sold out community. So this is a really good feature is, hey, you got an opportunity at getting into one of the homes in this area that has now been sold out. So I think I'm going to leave that part of it. And this is in the new popular Ellis area of Tracy. Popular plan 3 built plan 3. So, we know that this is a popular plan. So that's probably a pretty good one to leave in there as well too. Now we get into some wordiness on some of the amenities about the house. I think the only one I really want to focus in on is that this has a home office and maybe a gourmet kitchen. Because I also want to throw in here that this is really close to freeway access, because there's a lot of commuters that really like to move to this community. So I'm going to erase some of this stuff, and I'm going to put some information about the kitchen. Now, one of the things, again, I said that we're looking at stopping the scroll. And so if we could put some images in here that will get people's eyeballs on the ad to get them to stop and look, I think that really is going to help us out a lot. And so a lot of people are having success with is using emojis. So if I go down to the bottom right of the box, you can see the little emoji icon, and I can put emojis into the ads itself. So I could put something along the lines of kitchen. And if there is, so we can start seeing some of the results here. If we don't like any of those icons, put something along the lines of food. And I don't know if I would necessarily associate gourmet with a hamburger or anything like that. So we can scroll up, see if there's anything else out there besides food. And go back to kitchen. I have an emoji for a chef. Let's try one for a cook. Okay, there we go. So we got a cook that I'm going to throw into there. So you can see now that throws an emoji in there of a cook. So home boasts many amenities with the gourmet kitchen. And features downstairs. And has a, so I'm going to put an emoji there because we want to mix this up a little bit. So I'm going to put like a briefcase. I'm running out of some stuff here, so I'm going to take a couple words out so that I can get this to fit with what I want it to do. Maybe take the year out of this as well. And then after freeway access, I'm going to put a little car emoji. There you go. So we can see that this really highlights that this community is sold out and you can't get in there currently. And that it is the popular Plan 3, has a great gourmet kitchen, downstairs bed and bath, has a home office, and close to freeway access. Got a couple emojis in there to be able to really stop people's or draw people's eyes to the ad, which is great. So then we go down to where it says headline. We want to tell what our advertisement is about. So we're going to put down something about what the ad's about. If I'm looking at this, if I'm looking at this ad, what's maybe one of the features that I want to draw attention to? I could put something along the lines of calling all chefs or calling all home cooks or something along that line. Calling all chefs, check out this gourmet kitchen. And then if we go into description, if we look over here, it says enter text that clearly tells people about the CTA link, which is the call to action link. So you're going to want to tell people what they're going to get by clicking learn more. Now we have some suggestions that are in here. If you don't like it, you can click shuffle. Like for example, this says you could be coming home to this. If I want to change it, I could go to schedule a private tour with me today. I can change it. It says view photos and videos of this home. If I want to use a suggestion, I just click the link here. Or if I want to write in my own, I can write my own in there. So I'm going to use the suggestion, and then I'm going to modify it a little bit. So I'm going to put click learn more to view all photos and videos of this home. And then I'm going to click save add text when I'm done and I like the way that it looks. So now we can see how it's going to look over here. Got my ad copy, got my header here. Click learn more to view all photos and videos of this home, and we got learn more. Now what we need to do is we need to configure the ad media. So it automatically pulls over a picture of the house here, right? If we want to add more or if we want to modify the pictures, you can click add more. This is going to give us all the MLS photos that are on here. And you can see this amazing kitchen that this property has. If I want to choose the ones that are from the MLS, I could choose the ones from the MLS. If I want to add ones from my computer, I can add from my computer. And if I click add video, I can either embed a linked video by using the URL link, or I can click upload a video and drag and drop the video that's on my computer in here and use, excuse me, a video ad. So I'm going to just choose the ones that are here. So Facebook recommends not using any more than 5 pictures of the property as for your ad. So I'm going to pick out 5 that I really like here. So I'm going to hit save on this one. I'm going to add a couple more. Really highlight this awesome kitchen. And I'm going to reorder these so the kitchen one shows up first. And then let's pick a couple here, maybe the dining room. And then you can drag this to show the area that you want to have shown. And let's get one more. Going to put in this shot right here. Okay, so now we got the carousel ad. So we have all these pictures that they can scroll through and take a look at. I want to give them enough to get them interested, but not too much so that they don't have to click through the ad. Put my ownership statement in there by clicking this box. That way we stay with compliance stuff. That'll show each office independently owned and operated. I'm going to click apply. And then once that process is through, I'm going to click Save Ad Media. So now we're going to go to the Facebook ad and configure the ad itself. So we got my name there. We've got to select which page we want to use. I'm going to select the page. You can see that now changes over to my logo and to my information over here. Now, you have a couple options on once somebody clicks learn more, where they go to get the information you promised them. Because remember, when we created that call to action button, that learn more button, we promised them in the description that if they click that button, that we would take them to get all the pictures and information about the house. So you can do a couple things. You can use your own site or landing page that you create, and then you can direct them to a landing page that you've already created inside of Command. Or if you have a different page you want to take them to, you can take them to a specific URL. Now, the best results tend to happen in getting lead gen by using the Facebook lead generation form. And part of that is that it's a Facebook form. It's a pop-up that occurs on the Facebook page without having to redirect them to someplace else. And then it will, a lot of people feel a little bit more comfortable leaving their information if they're not being redirected to a different site. So again, you could kind of test both things out, but most people have been reporting or responding that using a Facebook lead gen form has been giving them substantially better results. So I'm just going to use the Facebook lead gen form. That way, when somebody clicks learn more, Facebook will pop up a lead gen form for that person, and they can fill that out without having to leave Facebook. If I want to change the call to action button from learn more to sign up or apply now, I can do that as well. I'm going to just leave it as learn more. Now you can again create a landing page for this site or a landing page for wherever you want to go to, and you have a list of all the landing pages that you've created on inside of Command through here that you have access to, or you can send them to a separate site. A place that I tend to like to go to is just to have them redirect back to my website. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to find that property. Get that address number again, 2429. The reason I like to have them go back to my website rather than maybe even a landing page is that if they choose not to continue to look at this property and don't like this property, now I got them on my site, and maybe I can get them to look at a different property or get them to sign up for an account or get into a neighborhood search, because I've already captured their information on the form they filled out to get redirected to get here. I just want them to get more and more engaged with the tools and resources that I have on side of my site. So I search for that property on my site. I'm going to highlight that URL. I'm going to click it and to copy it. And then I'm going to come back to my campaign, and where I want them to go to, if they click learn more and fill out their information, then I want them to come back to that site or that page on my site that has the property information, because that'll give them again a virtual tour, all the pictures, and then all the details about the house. If they want to find out about the schools, they can find out about the schools. We've got a mortgage calculator on here. Any upcoming open houses that I have scheduled up, I can have show up here. They can get information on Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, and then they can see other homes that are nearby that might pique their interest as well too. And then they can ask me questions direct from here. So I'm going to go back. So add targeting. By default, it sets it up as Tracy, California, 20 miles away from Tracy. If I wanted to customize it a little bit, I can choose the location, which I'm going to stick with Tracy, but I'm going to increase the radius out just a little bit because this particular community has a lot of people that are interested in moving here from the Bay Area as cost of living gets so expensive. So moving into the valley is a lot more affordable for some people. So a lot of buyers come from the city. So going to expand that out a little bit. Now, if this was a unique property, like let's say waterfront or something like that, we can also add interests. So for example, if it was a waterfront property that had a dock, we might search for like a boater or boating. So I'm going to go click interests down over here. I could look for people that have certain interests. And I don't see anything necessarily with like boating, for example, but anything that anything that we think that somebody might want to have a particular interest in, like cars, like if there was a 3-car garage, or say, for example, computer engineering might be a good one for this because there's a lot of tech companies, and a lot of people move out here that work for tech companies to get a little bit more affordable housing. So those are some things that you can do to really start to kind of help get that ad into the person who's most likely to respond to that, is basically the thing here. So for the Bay Area, doing things like technology, doing things like Zillow, for example. And why might you want to add Zillow for an interest? Well, the reason is because if somebody is interested in Zillow, say for example, they might be looking at doing home searches. So we can see Zillow. So I'm going to actually kind of use Zillow stuff against them in the sense that I'm going to say, hey, if somebody is interested in Zillow or Zillow Premier Agent or Remax, then I want that, anybody that's searching for homes, I want to try to target those people and get those people interested in here. So you can go in here and add as many interests as you want. Just remember, the more that you add interest in, the more you're going to kind of like whittle down the potential reach. So I want to, again, leave these here because I want people who are doing active home searches to be able to get this ad. And then in addition, I want to make sure that you're aware of this. I put Zillow and then Premier Agent. Let me go out. So I put Zillow or this. So one thing to keep in mind as you're doing this is you have the ability to add or and. So if I put Zillow or the Premier Agent one, then they just have to like, or they have to have an interest in either one of those things. If I put and, then they would have to like both. And so I don't want them to like both necessarily. I'm actually going to probably take off the Premier Agent here too, because I don't care if they really like agent stuff. I want them doing home searches. So I might go in here also. Click that one more time. There we go. See if we got realtor.com. It's an option. So I'm going to put that in there. So again, basically what I'm trying to do is get this into the hands of people who are searching some of these sites in order to try to target this to the best person possible or the best audience possible. So once I get that down, and again, if you don't want to get into any of this stuff, if you just want to use what's default, you can use the default stuff too. And then I'm going to hit Save Facebook Ad. So now we have the name and the goal, we have the property, we have the ad text, we have the pictures that we want to have put on there, we have the ad targeted where we want it to go, and then we're going to hit duration and budget. And I'm going to set this to about 5 days. So today is the 11th. So we're going to go 12th, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's just through the weekend. And then I'm going to set the budget down. And they basically what we recommend is anywhere from about 3 to 10 days to run an ad. And part of that is that one of the awesome tools that Facebook gives to us by utilizing this through Keller Williams is it runs the ad through artificial intelligence. So the ad actually gets smarter as the longer that it's on or being active. And the reason is that the AI is looking at patterns of people who aren't responding to the ad and are responding to the ad. And as it's learning those patterns, it's basically saying, okay, we're going to stop showing this to this group of people, and we're going to continue to show this or show this to more people that are like these people over here because these people are responding to the ad. So you're going to get a lot better results by letting the AI have ability to learn more about the consumer that is responding positively to your ad, if that makes sense. So let's just leave this up for 5 days. And I'm going to run a $20 campaign here. So a lot of people have been reporting spending somewhere between $3 to $5 a day is what's giving them the best results. And you can test some of these things out just to kind of get an idea or find a groove for yourself. But I'm going to just leave it at 20. I'm going to hit save and duration and budget. Actually, I'm going to take it down just a little bit. Now, I can save as draft if I'm not ready to go, or I can hit publish campaign. If I hit publish campaign, then it goes live. And I'm going to just hit publish campaign here. It's going to show me it says your campaign is selected to run 5 days with a cost of $15. Please select your payment method, credit applied, $12. So I got a $12 credit on my $15 ad, so they're going to charge my card $3. So I'm going to hit create campaign. And then now I have a ad that's going out on Facebook. Now just keep in mind that once you configure your ad and hit publish, it goes out the next day, not the same day. That way you get a full business day, or you get a full day of the ad being run. So typically they get launched at midnight Eastern time every day. So you got your pending review here. Should go active or go live tomorrow at midnight. And then once I have this set up, if I want to take a look at it, I can click the arrow button down here to look at the results. If I made a mistake and I want to stop the campaign, I can stop the campaign as well by doing that there, or pause it or archive it if I'm done with it. And if I want to duplicate it for a different ad, because I'm getting good results from it and I want to duplicate the campaign, I can hit duplicate campaign and then just edit the house information, but not have to mess with any of the demographics at all. So just wanted to keep this one short and sweet. I'll put some other videos together to really do a deeper dive into some of the stuff with the ads to really explore how some people are getting some super effective results. But I just wanted to give you some basics so that you can get started and utilize some of this and start taking some territory and closing some business, because this is a really amazing feature that we have to be able to run this inside a campaign and getting our lead costs down substantially. Talk to you guys soon, and thanks for checking in.